Hey guys, Mo Muller here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to pick a niche in 2023, some of my insights into which niches I kind of prefer, and we'll kind of go over the top niches, the most popular niches, and then through a few sub-silos to really understand what goes into niche research, and also some things to look out for when you're kind of selecting niches. So if you are kind of new to the affiliate marketing stroke content and niche type, building websites, then feel free to go through the video. If you already have a few websites and you just kind of want to diversify and see investigate other niche potentials, then feel free to go through this video. So let's get started. So I think first of all, I want to very quickly touch on how to pick a niche in general. So profitable niches have three general things that you want to keep in mind. So they have high market demand. So there's lots of people searching for it. There's lots of activity around the niche. There's people that are interested in whatever the niche is, of course, and it needs to be a lot of people doing that. We're talking about millions and hundreds of thousands. Generally, there should be low competition. That can be tricky depending on which niche you go into, but obviously if it has high market demand and low competition, it means that it'll be easier for you to kind of rank and build a site within the niche. And lastly, and this is very important, there needs to be a high amount of income potential. So if it has high market demand and low competition, but there isn't really many affiliate programs or ad networks aren't paying you very much to put their ads and show integrate ads on your site, then you're not going to make much money. So between high market demand, low competition, and people paying you for per impression or having lots of affiliate programs, those are the best type of niches to have. And to be fair, most of the broad categories kind of fit those examples anyhow. And just to provide some context, there are two SEO tools that you want to use. The first one is called, I use Ahrefs. Essentially, it's an SEO tool that you can plug in any niche and get all the data behind it. So search volume, keyword research, niche research, competition analysis, etc. And also Google Trends. Okay, super interesting. You can plug any niche or keyword into Google Trends, and you will be able to see very much at an outset the trajectory of that particular keyword and the search data behind it, and you can see if it's kind of growing, staying stable, or it's declining. And again, these are very simple tools. Ahrefs is paid, but you can probably get like a free trial, and Google Trends is free. And you want to plug it in any of your niches that you're looking to investigate into these tools, just to see if there's longevity in the niche, and if there's spikes, or if it's potentially declining. Maybe you want to avoid those type of niches. So just before I get into the niches right now, I would just want to highlight the fact that I have data, lots of data from my own portfolio of sites. Also, I kind of manage and grow client sites. So across the variety of different assets and websites I've been managing, I've picked up a lot of small trends and small patterns that hopefully can help you in picking your niches. So that's what I'm going to be including in today's video. So I'm going to go through the niches right now. There's probably about 13 or 14 main niches, and I'll just give a very light overview of what I think about the niches, and hopefully you can pick up some patterns and things that you can understand in terms of going in and growing a website in a particular niche, or maybe avoiding it, which is just as important, to be honest. So first of all, of course, one of the biggest niches out there right now is the finance and make money online niche. It's extremely lucrative. It's also extremely competitive, and you're going to have massive brands that are already in the market, and they're going to have massive budgets for obvious reasons. Of course, everyone's looking to make more money. Everyone's looking to understand how to leverage their savings and their investments, etc. So it's one of the biggest niches. Generally, I would avoid it. I've probably tried to rank a site in the finance niche before and it hasn't worked out at all. I would say if you are obviously of the financial, if you have a financial background, by all means it makes sense. But yeah, it's super competitive. As you can see as well by the Ahrefs data here, super competitive, but lots of market demand. And the next one, I think, is pretty cool. Travel's pretty cool, and of course it took a hit in COVID a few years back, but there's lots of juicy keywords to target for travel, specifically listicles, so keep that in mind. It's very easy to get sponsorship as well. You're not going to have any difficulties finding affiliate programs and affiliate partners to kind of sponsor your videos, your posts, etc. But I would say you probably do need to travel. Maybe it goes without saying, but probably not. You'd be surprised. Generally in the travel niche, you want to be showing pictures, photos of you going to different places and experiencing different climates and destinations that all makes more sense if you actually travel as opposed to just putting up stock photos for obvious reasons. Again, lots of juicy keywords to target, and there is lots of traffic and volume within this niche. Fitness and health, I think, is super interesting in terms of the next niche. Again, it's very, very lucrative, but also very competitive. I think you're going to find that's going to be a trend. The most lucrative niches are probably the most competitive as well. And there are also like really, really big brands that have, again, massive budgets in this particular niche. I think if you're going to attack this niche and do it properly, you're probably going to have your own personal brand. Or you're going to have to be an expert in whatever health, weight loss, maybe something to do with management of your body, ailments, illnesses, etc. Strength training. The biggest brands that do it have YouTube followings, social followings, and they do it across pretty much all the socials as well as their blog. So very, very lucrative, but it's also very competitive. Personally, I would probably stay out of it unless you have your own brand in this particular niche. Number 4 on the list is personal development. Again, I like personal development for obvious reasons. Personal development for me is something that comes very, very naturally. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy growing. I enjoy the process of and the journey of making things and myself successful. So I do really enjoy this particular niche, and I think it's super lucrative. There's lots of different affiliate programs, courses, mentorships, seminars, etc. that you can even do yourself or potentially affiliate to. I would say it's semi-competitive. The reason I say that is because if you go super niche in this particular space, so you find a subset of people and you offer a service or course to that subset of people, or even a subset of people, you can become really an expert in that field and provide a lot of value. So if you go broad, obviously it's going to be very competitive, but if you're going down in depth, then it's going to be a lot less. So think about something like personal development, but maybe for the elderly in a specific area, right? Something along those lines, or spiritual development for a specific type of client, and you're doing maybe courses or some type of a blog around specific spiritual development, for example, right? It's niche. It's not your everyday kind of Tony Robbins type thing in terms of the growth, and it can really work. But again, definitely need to build a brand. And of course, there's lots of market demand and search volume in this particular niche. Next, number 5 on the list is relationships and dating. Again, there's lots of affiliate programs for dating and relationship type of niches, which is really, really cool. Some of them pay quite a lot actually per lead. I've done a few campaigns in the dating niche before I started to build blogs about 5 or 6 years ago, and made a lot of money from dating. That come from I used to do email marketing quite frequently in this particular niche. But again, coming from that analysis, I know that it's super competitive, even for paid media. And really and truly, if you're trying to build a blog and rank in 2023 for relationships and dating, you probably need to concentrate on one demographic, probably maybe a specific gender, and a specific probably culture as well. So maybe Asian dating between the age of 25 to 34 in a specific city or town or something like that. Oh, sorry, state, country. Again, you want to narrow down your blogs in terms of dating, because you're going to go too broad and you won't be able to probably rank pages specifically in this niche. But again, there's lots of affiliate programs. So once you have the target audience and you can prove it, then you're not going to have any issues finding affiliate programs. And of course, it's recession proof as well, which is pretty cool. Number 6 on the list is baby and parenting niche. Now, this particular niche has lots of juicy keywords. But again, it's super competitive. From research, it seems as if you're kind of in this dilemma between the mum blogs. So you've got your everyday mum that's just generally putting up information, helpful information around babies and parenting and things like that. And then you've also got these massive brands that are kind of taking up all the SERPs in terms of things like breastfeeding and obviously pregnancy, etc., etc. And they are brands. They've got lots of people and experts in those particular niches. So when they write a piece around a specific parenting or baby tip, they usually rank quite high up, because you don't want to get information wrong when you're searching for things about your baby, right? So it is quite competitive, but obviously you're going to get paid quite a lot in terms of any sponsorships or deals that you have in this particular niche, and the traffic potential is pretty high. Number 7 on the list is beauty and fashion. Again, so this particular niche is very, very lucrative, and again, it's very, very competitive. Personally, there are some niches that I would stay out of. Maybe you have the same for you as well. They could just be, you could have certain kind of agendas or something that you prefer not to go into. Me personally, I wouldn't go into the beauty and fashion niche, and it's only because I think in this particular niche you need to build out an actual brand. So socials, Instagrams, LinkedIn's, YouTube, definitely, and that is how you incorporate that into your blog. And then when you're writing things, the integration between the YouTube channel and all your socials, it all kind of makes sense. If you do that, then you have multiple streams of income, not just kind of revenue from AdSense, from advertising networks like Mediavine or AdThrive or Ezoic, of course. But you're also kind of incorporating all your socials and sponsorship deals, which kind of builds up this massive brand in beauty. And the people that I've seen and know that do it successfully have socials. So it's not just a blog play, in my opinion. And also because it's quite competitive, it's going to be very tricky to rank for kind of smaller keywords in this particular niche because you have bigger brands as well. But of course, there's lots of traffic, lots of volume as well. Next one is on the list is gadgets and technology. This is a kind of favorite of mine, but I haven't really got a website recently in this particular niche because I've sold it. It's pretty cool because there's lots of juicy keywords. There are big brands that you have to obviously compete against, but I think the cool thing about gadgets is you can go super niche and specific on one type or area of gadgets or technology, and you can kind of win and potentially just sell that and build another one depending on the way you're growing or kind of strategizing in terms of your niche sites and your content sites. One thing to note though is everything does have to be kept up to date, and that's something I kind of learned the hard way. So in this particular niche, if you have a specific gadget, let's say you're doing cameras and you've done a specific type of camera, and then maybe a year later or 6 months later that camera gets updated or there's a new one that kind of comes out, you probably have to keep that post of the best cameras for photographers or whatever it's going to be. You need to keep that up to date with all the newer affiliate products, which can sometimes take a little bit of time. But yeah, there's lots of juicy keywords, especially if you kind of sub silo down, and also you get paid quite a lot in terms of your affiliate revenue. So that's pretty cool. Next on the list is food. Food is probably one of the ones that I would love to get into the most, and I explain why I haven't yet. Food is extremely lucrative. If you're thinking about starting up, if you love food and you're into food, and you can take pictures of food and you can talk about food all day, and you have a kind of strategy in terms of which silo and sub silo, which type of food and which type of person to go down, I'd recommend food because it's really awesome. I've got data on what the kind of the bigger brands and the bigger individuals get paid in terms of their RPM for food blogs, and it's insane. It's really good, but of course it's super competitive, and there are massive brands and massive budgets. So with this particular niche, I think you're going to be spending a lot of time to kind of build your brand and your content. But once you get to that top or even middle area of like page views, talking about 100,000 page views plus, you're probably going to stay paid forever because this particular niche, the companies don't miss anything when it comes to payments. They're paying you on time, and they're also paying really high RPMs for obvious reasons. But again, you need to definitely silo down because it is super competitive. One of my favorites, but I haven't actually got a site in food, but I probably want to at some point, the food niche. And as you can see, the volume is insane, so it's pretty cool. 10th on the list is entertainment. You can think entertainment, celebrities, those type of things. There's lots of celebrities to target in this particular niche. There is generally low competition in this niche as well, which is pretty cool. You can think of like general celebrities, Beyonce's, Jay-Z's, etc., Kanye West's, and then obviously all of the B class, C class, etc., D class, whatever you want to go into. And then there's like different listicles that you can do, who's the richest, who's not, who's going out with who, etc., right? You kind of get the point. Generally, I found in this niche that the RPMs can be lower. I think the entertainment niche is pretty cool, but longevity, things change quite fast, so keep that in mind. And obviously, you're going to have lots of volume as well. Again, one of my favorites in terms of growing sites at the moment. I've had really good success in the pet niche. It is quite popular, and generally people are ranking lots more blogs in this particular space. I think it's pretty easy to write content in the pet niche. But if you can silo down and find really good silos and topically cluster your content together, this is a really popular niche, an interesting niche to get into, because like I said, anyone can write about pets, and also you can rank really well for topically relevant silos in this particular niche. So think about cats, maybe cat collars, and then different types of cat collars, for example, right? We're talking about like going down right down to that kind of to the point where you can't really silo anymore. So 2 or 3 levels down. There's one other thing to note is there's lots of different affiliate programs in the pet space, from other alternatives to Amazon to lots of different stores that will kind of partner up with you depending on what type of pet you've got traffic with. So there's lots of revenue streams in this particular space. Think about insurance as well, cat insurance, dog insurance, etc. It's amazing. And of course, recession proof, and the volume is always there. The next niche that I want to touch on very quickly is the gaming niche. If you're a gamer, you get it straight away. This niche is not going away anytime soon. People spend lots of money and time playing, investing in games, online and offline. It's semi-competitive, especially if you're looking to silo down. But I would say in this particular niche, it probably helps if you are actually a gamer. You understand the market a lot more. Specifically for research purposes, you know what games are in fashion and what aren't. Now, I'm not really a gamer, but I've got some gamer friends, and when they've told me about some of the games that are kind of new and have come into the market recently, if you can take that data and put it into a search tool, before all of the kind of search tools are able to crawl the internet and the SERPs to see what's working and what's not, you can kind of rank pages in it for a new game, and be kind of right at the top. Before all the competition kind of is aware of it. So that's really cool. One thing to note, obviously, is games change quite frequently as well. So bear that in mind. Again, lots of juicy traffic for the gaming niche. There's 2 more left. On the 13 on the list is the education and training niche. This isn't really talked about much in all of the kind of niche research and kind of top niches that people mention on blogs. I thought it would be super interesting to add in today's video. The education and training niche in terms of online training, or it could be offline training as well, and general education in terms of different types of areas in the educational niche. It's trending. It's been around for a long time. But if you are able to understand and build out some type of topical relevance in a specific training area for this niche, you're going to get paid a ton of money, because I've done the research and I've checked to see how much you get paid out, for example, for specific programs, again, both online and offline, and you're going to get paid out quite a lot. So think about financial institutions that might pay you, think about online training certificates that might pay you, etc. And it is pretty competitive in terms of the SERPs, and you've got massive brands out there. Think about Udemy, Udacity, for example. But if you are actually able to put the time in and actually buy the training courses themselves and review them properly with screenshots and be very specific and honest about your reviews, then I think you'll stand out from the crowd who are just kind of like regurgitating from the homepage. So bear that in mind as well. And again, it's recession proof as well. The last on the list is home and outdoors. Think about, again, anything in your home. Think about things in your kitchen. Think about things in your living room, etc., etc. Home office, for example. And then the outdoors niche, which kind of goes with it, but not really, it depends. Think about like outdoor sports, fishing, hiking, camping, etc. Again, in this broad niche, there's there's lots of data. There's lots of keywords to rank for. There's lots of market demand. And if you can go through the silos and find something super specific for the home or the outdoors niche, you're going to find a lot of juicy keywords to target that aren't really too high in terms of their competitive analysis and the keyword research. And the keyword difficulty is generally on the lower side. So that's pretty cool, specifically for informational articles as well. One thing to mention is, of course, you want to make sure that you silo down, as I mentioned, into topical clusters, and RPMs for this niche are super high. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see, spiked up over the last, I think, few months. And there's an amazing amount of traffic in this niche. It's one that if you get it right, you get paid forever. So those are kind of the main 14 niches that I wanted to mention. I just want to very quickly touch on how to pick a profitable niche as well. It's kind of important because you can go into a niche that you think is super relevant because it's got high market demand, low competition, and also has lots of different ways to diversify in terms of monetization. But if you don't really understand the niche, perfect example would kind of be gaming, then probably best not to go into it, just because you're going to be spending a lot of time writing or overseeing the growth of this particular project. And if you don't really understand the specifics, then it might be a little more tricky, unless you're willing to just actually go into that market, that mindset, and figure it out. So I think usually people say when it comes to niche selection, you want to find something that you're generally skilled at, that you have a passion in, and that you have some type of unique angle that you can position it. And I generally would agree, but again, it depends, because, for example, I have niches that I've gone into that I know nothing about, but I do know that the RPMs for that particular niche is super high. So if I can outsource parts of that and then maybe get into the mindset of, again, a gamer, then it can still be profitable. So to be super simple and for you to just get this last segment of the video, pick something that you understand and are familiar with. Definitely, I don't think you need to have a passion in it, but I think you do need to understand the niche. And if you aren't aware of the kind of nuances of the niche, then maybe just do some research and get into the mindset of the individual. And that way, when you're writing any copy or if in terms of email marketing or anything that's on the page in terms of any conversion marketing, you just understand that market, and also your keyword research is going to be a lot better as well. Gosh, last point I want to mention very quickly on this video, and I'm probably going to do another video on EAT, or EEAT as it is now, kind of used in the SEO world. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Gosh, that's a mouthful. So again, just want to quickly touch on this point. Generally, I would recommend in the next, well, to be honest, for the foreseeable future, if you are an expert in something or have a passion for something, it makes more sense to have yourself or someone that you know on the actual website in terms of the expertise. And it's only because over the last few years, it's been a lot more tricky to rank affiliate sites with like neutral and stock image kind of personas. That's become a lot more, not shady, but more tricky. So in for now and in the future, if you can actually put your name and your brand or someone that you know or familiar with, or potentially even find someone and partner up with them, that's going to make more sense in the long run. So bear that in mind as well, because if you scale the site, you spent a lot of money and time into it, and then it comes down to kind of like month 18, month 24, and you aren't really seeing results, the reason probably is because your EAT isn't done correctly. But again, I'll record a video on that in the near future. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Again, this is kind of the beginning of my subset of YouTube videos. If you're a beginner affiliate marketer and looking for some growth hacks, this video set's going to be for you. If you're an investment firm or someone with kind of a high net worth, this kind of whole YouTube channel and it's going to be for you as well. And also if you have an existing content marketing site or a niche site and just want to get some tips, again, it's going to be for you. If you're looking for a management firm or agency, feel free to check out nichewebsitemanagement.com, where we literally take the entire service from start to finish in terms of growing your content sites and affiliate sites in the correct way. Hopefully this video has been good strategy for you. If it has, feel free to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe. Awesome. Take care.